everybody, I'm Clever Sunday, the Pop Song Professor, and welcome to my channel where we make English class awesome by talking about song lyrics. Today we're talking about Okay, Okay by Half Alive, the lyrics and the music video. Now, the thing you need to keep in mind before we get into this is that Half Alive has seen a lot of success recently, and that, especially when it happens quickly, can be kind of unnerving for people, sometimes especially artists. And Josh Taylor has an artist's heart. He also has a vulnerable person's heart as well, and he's willing to share some of this stuff. And recent songs, I've heavily identified with some of what he said, and there is going to be some really good stuff here in Okay Okay as we get to understand more of his perspective on the fame process. And the music video is just weird, but we're going to talk about that too. So in verse 1 we hear, "Far too great a toll it's played on me. The animals of destiny, I have seen it from afar, saw its teeth and felt its claws, felt it ripping me apart to find my place among the stars." This is so clear what is being said here. He's talking about the animals of destiny, and it's these, it's almost like he's identifying all of the things that are causing their success as like these creatures that are pushing them towards something great. He can feel how fast their band is succeeding and how much attention they've gotten for what they do. To be fair, they do a really good job, right? So it's not surprising. But when he says the animals of destiny saw its teeth and felt its claws, why is he talking about the teeth and claws? It's because this animal is ferocious, will tear you out of where you were and what you were doing, and is going to put you somewhere else. That's that destiny to find my place among the stars. And I think that is twofold. I think he's saying find my place among the stars, like where am I going to be when I grow up or when I become who I'm going to become. But also he's in music, right? And so I think there's some literal rock stars that he's beginning to maybe find his place among. Now the YouTube channel only has 235,000 subscribers, so they're not a huge, like hugely popular with a ton of people. They're not worldwide renowned yet or anything like that, but they're quickly getting there. And apparently that's a lot of pressure and stress. He says, "Far too great a toll it's played on me, the animals of destiny." This whole process is very stressful for him and for the rest of the band. Now we get into verse 2, "Far too great a toll it's played on me, the pull of popularity," so trying to make everybody happy, trying to squeeze into a mold, just an actor in a role. So people expect certain things of a pop star or of somebody who's doing music, and he's feeling like he's having to be that person that people visualize rather than just be who he is. "But I'm through with being you," he talks to that person. "I know it's okay to be me." And that's really interesting, because I feel like that's something that I go through a lot, trying to decide which version of me am I going to be. I've always had the ability since I was a kid to go into a room and kind of within a few minutes figure out who everybody was, and in a sense become all things to all people, and be like, if there's a bunch of redneck people, I can hang out and talk about redneck things, not super well. If there's a bunch of older professors, I can go and try to be one of them. And I'm not always the smoothest at it, but like it's a thing. And so I see where he's coming from, because he's feeling like his whole platform, his whole stardom can very easily become based on this destiny that's driving him to be somebody that he's not, and he wants to just be himself. There's thunder, it's raining outside, that's that background noise. And then we get into the chorus. "It's okay, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. Through with being you, I know it's okay being me." He's basically going back over the heart of verse 2. Verse 3, "How great a joy it is to see this hidden gold and dried up streams. I'll grow in this discovery and rest in what it'll bring." That's really interesting to me. Again, I identify with what he's talking about so much, it's uncanny. I haven't felt this connection with a new artist or a new song for a while. How great a joy it is to see this hidden gold and dried up streams. So that's there's two things there. There's gold and there's a lack of water, right? And one's a good thing, more thunder, and one's a bad thing. And so I think what he's talking about is this process and the difficult things, maybe the dried up streams of privacy, or maybe when he doesn't feel the popularity, or maybe when he feels like he's not doing what people want and so they're less inclined to think about him. That could be the dried up streams, but maybe there's hidden gold in that. Basically what he's saying is that there's it's not just one or the other. Like even in the times when things aren't going well, there's something to be had there. I've experienced this exact thing, and this may be me just emoting onto the lyrics, but I've experienced this exact thing recently where my channel, there were like last year it was exploding, man. We were getting tens of thousands of subscribers a month, and we were getting like over 1 million views a month for several months, and it was awesome. But then recently it's been a lot less crazy, down to like 300,000 views a month and maybe 1,000 subscribers a month. Like in terms of YouTube growth, that's not really growth if that's more just keeping it even. And that was discouraging at first, but then I thought about it, like, there's way less pressure when something like that happens. I can just experiment with more things. I can respond to a higher percentage of people's comments. We can have more community interactivity. I can work on developing courses because there's not as much pressure to make amazing videos that'll keep people coming back, because it's my core fan base right there, right? So I say that not because it's a perfect match for what he's saying, but I think that even in the dried up streams, there's hidden gold there, right? Does that make sense to you guys? And I think the message of okay, okay is twofold. I think he's saying, one, it's okay to be me, and two, even in the difficult or the new times, there's something good about those things too. Let's find the good in that thing and live in that moment and experience that and enjoy that, and while being ourselves. Because I think that if you don't try to be yourself, you try to be somebody else, it's going to be a lot harder to find that good thing, because you're just going to be faking it, trying to keep the good times rolling or trying to get back to them. Be yourself where you are. As far as the music video goes, basically we see Josh and the guys in the band kind of walking through this like, I don't know, like this forest basically, and they run into this glass wall, and it's like a boundary that's there. So they keep walking, they do their own thing, and all of a sudden on the other side of the glass wall, there's these two other guys. There's some interaction there with the usual like dancing type stuff, and I don't know, they don't necessarily seem friendly with each other, but it becomes more this collaborative thing. It's not really clear, and then for some reason, after they've all given up trying to get through the glass, Josh just kind of pushes through, and it's not exactly clear how that happens, but then we find all five of them are in the same area together, and so now they're all running through the fields until they come to the edge of a cliff. We zoom out, and they're all in this big glass dome. Now, I'm not completely sure what exactly this means, but I have a theory. I think what they're talking about is that we put ourselves into bubbles, and maybe there's a bubble of friends that we're with, or maybe we're in a bubble by ourselves, but part of life is pushing through into new bubbles and to interact with other people, and we find that we're in this bigger bubble perhaps. And so it's this sort of message of groups and how we form them and how we connect with other people even when there are barriers that might not have been obvious at first. And perhaps this ties into the lyrics. Perhaps the bubbles were the destiny. You be over here, you be over here, this is your track, this is what you do, this is who you run with, blah blah blah, and maybe you have to push through those to be yourself and to kind of go where you want. Here's why I'm not going to go further into this theory though, because I believe it was tweeted by the director, or maybe on Instagram, that they filmed 2 music videos, I believe in the same day. I think this is a 2-part story, and that we can expect to hear more about this that will make exactly what's happening there a little bit clearer, and maybe they'll tackle the bigger bubble. So hopefully that's a very satisfying explanation to the lyrics, if not completely satisfying with the music video, but I think we have a part 2 coming up. So guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to check out this video, different facts about Half Alive and why they're so great, and then here is an explanation of Pure Gold, where I get a little bit vulnerable with how I relate to it. I hope you guys enjoy both. Thanks for watching.